Hey everybody, welcome back to Rathlin Island. Here day 7, and it is 8 o'clock. And as you see, we've got a little road cleaning done. We're going to be contracted by the town here to do a little road clearing in a little bit. But for now, we're going to run over to the BGA and just check out and see how those operations are going. We've gotten the BGA fired up. And the way I understand it from the guys is that they run the digester twice a day for 2 hours. At 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. They run it, and that's basically now. So I want to go over there and check that out and see how everything's running. And then they run again at 8 p.m. till 9 p.m. For another hour, and then throughout the day we get steady power from the operations, and it's going to basically provide us with a couple $100 an hour in steady income. We're going to need to obviously keep it fed with hay bales until we can manage to put either grass or chaff in the bunker, and once we start being able to do that, then we can feed it silage out of the bunkers down here, keep it operational. Last night I went ahead and cleared the BGA area and cleared the road between the farm and the BGA. See, we erected a little storage building virtually overnight. So this is where we're going to be storing our hay bales and whatnot for the BGA. Here at running here, and just now notice we got a little flame spitting out the top. So we see, we walk up here and we can get some information with the bunker fill level. I noticed that the LCD readout is not working. Just put a post over at FSUK, the support thread for the map, just to see if other people are seeing the same problem with the display on there. But we got bunker fill level. Not really sure what that's representing. 23.1 M3. We got total solids fed. Not really sure what that's supposed to imply. Total solids and fermenter. Again, I'm not really sure what that's supposed to imply. Bonus manure level. So if I understand correctly, if we put manure or slurry in here to a certain percentage, we can get a bonus in power. So that's something that we might need to try to figure out, is how we can get ourselves some slurry. Over here we can see we are pumping in some digestate now at a nice slow rate, consistent. So the digester will run for an hour now, and it will come back, and we'll need to fill it up again this evening, I think, around 8 p.m. I wanted to show that to you guys. Like I said, we're going to be using that mod in this series just to keep ourselves a little busy during our slower periods, and also give ourselves just you know, steady things to do. Depending on how well it goes, we may just do this on all of our series going forward. Let's head back to the farm, and we're going to get in our T7, and we're going to get back to clearing the roads here with our salt spreader. We were, I had all set up and had bought the black sheep modding sweeper, which basically is designed to erase, well, it erases snow, erases leftover silage in the bunker. It also can erase tire tracks and all kinds of other things. So so I was all set to use that to clear the snow, because I've used that on a couple other maps when I had to do it. But But then this salt spreader came out, and I was like, oh, check that thing. Oops. Random button on the keyboard. And I checked that out, and I was like, wow, this works really awesome. So, but we got it here, hooked up, and we're going to make a little use of it today. Let's just park this here. Check it out. So it's basically the bridle fertilizer spreader, but we've got salt in the hopper here, and you buy pallets of salt. Show it to you in the store. Not familiar with it? It's here under miscellaneous. This is what I was going to use right here, but here it is. Got the little snowflake, or you can get the little Exacta with the snowflake. And you can see it requires the big bag of salt. So if we go to pallets, and here we have the big bag of salt, $600 for 1,000 liters. I went and filled this up at the shop, so it's got 4,000 liters of salt in it. And let me just clear off the spot here in the yard, and I can show you how well it works if you haven't had a chance to use it yet. Let's just back up here. Let's turn it on, and look, it just instantly deletes the snow in a narrow pattern. It doesn't throw it out wide like the fertilizer spreader does. But instantly it deletes the snow. Thankfully, it doesn't chew through the salt at a very large clip, so we can clear out a rather large area without having to worry about running out of salt. I'm not gonna worry about too much of this, simply because we only have one layer of snow to deal with. But again, looking at the forecast here, we got snow in the forecast for the first day of spring. We have cloudy weather until the first day of spring. So the way I'm seeing it is, I'm not expecting that we're going to have too much snow melt occur between now and the first day of spring. So I thought I would just go around and we only have one layer of snow, but still I thought I would just go around and just play with this new little mod and clear the snow away. I have to say, and I put in Discord, those of you who may not have seen the Old Guy Farmer single player seasons challenge that I did, and Grizzly Bear Sims was a part of, well, he had one of the worst winters that I have ever seen someone have with respect to seasons. Must have had like 6 or 7 layers of snow. He had like 3, we played 6-day seasons. Probably had 5 out of those 6 days of winter. I think he had snowfall. I mean, it was awful. He couldn't get anywhere. He could hardly drive anywhere. And as a result, you know, he really lost a lot of productivity during the winter that first year. So, yeah, I commented that, man, I bet you wish you had this thing when you were doing the single player challenge. I don't think he's seen the comment yet. I hadn't heard back from him, but if he watches this video, I'm sure he's going to be like, yeah, that would have come in very handy. So go ahead and clear this up here to the lighthouse. So these folks come visit the lighthouse and just look at how well this works. Gonna floor this thing, and we can clear snow at 24 miles an hour. Now it's not a very wide width, and there's directions in the mod on how to modify your own spreader, And at one point in time, I thought about getting using the AR truck and the bridal AR, or maybe even the Amazon AR fertilizer spreader on the truck, and basically setting it up to be a salt truck, like I see here in the States. But the directions on how to clear or how to mod your own spreader, well, they seemed a bit more involved than I was really wanting to put into it. It seemed to was not straightforward on how to code up the. It talked about making changes to the spread width, and quite frankly, it didn't seem all that make all that much sense to me. I mean, it was like you go in and you change these values to some arbitrary, what felt like an arbitrary decimal level. It really didn't seem to make any darn sense to me at all. So maybe someone who better understands how Giants has coded these things could explain it. It seemed rather confusing to me. So we're just going to use this, and this works fine. Let's see, we can clear this area out pretty darn quick. I guess we should clear this area up here, the walking path, right? We got $258 from the BGA that hour. So if we get $258 per hour, that's every game day, 24 hours or 20 hours. So 248 times 10 would be $2,048. Times 20, that would be almost $5,000. Plus another 4 hours, so that's it's about $6,000 a game day, just in BGA operations, and really only needing to feed it twice a day. It seems to be a pretty easy way to earn some money. You can think, well, I can earn a couple $100,000 if I just go down to the BGA and just feed it silage all day long. Which is true, but again, that's if you've got all day to do that, then good for you. But depending on what you're doing, and if you're playing with seasons, you may or may not have that much time to dedicate to emptying the bunker. Of course, if you use course play or something like that, then you would probably have plenty of time. But just something to add to the game. Guys like Mark DuPont or DoughBoy or Rubber Burner, they throw in things like the manual transmission, the gearbox mod. That's what it's called. They throw in MR. Now we're using MR here. But, they run with no HUD. They run with all kinds of button boxes and controllers and everything, and to some degree it's it makes the game a little more difficult. It's what they're looking for, but for me, I'm not looking to make the thing difficult. I want to play for fun. I don't want to be frustrated and super challenged when I do this. I want to be entertained, and my level of entertainment, if I'm entertained, then I'm fairly sure that you all are going to be entertained. Someone wants to, probably not going to want to watch someone who's just completely annoyed and can't seem to get anything working for that particular episode. It's rough. Oh, this is coming back to a field. thought this was coming down here to that cell point. Let's turn this on. Let's back up. That would explain why this road was so rough. But that is one of our entry points down to one of our fields. The field to our left and the field to our right is also owned by us. Let's see here. Let's just jump in and get to spreading. See behind me, you're definitely clearing a path. This thing, I would say, this is probably the fastest way to clear snow that's been invented at this point. The sweeper will do it, but I think you're running at like 10 miles an hour. The silage blade will do it, but it just pushes the snow around. You've got to move it into piles, and of course piles of snow go away a lot slower than layers, or basically snow that's not been touched. The other option is the I guess the round roller. The in-game roller apparently removes snow. Use the roller and drag it around behind you. I guess that would go maybe just as fast as this spreader here. So let me know in the comments, have you all used this spreader? Have you modded your own? Have you looked into that? If you have modded your own, let me know how hard it was. And if any of you industrial types want to maybe mod up the Amazon AR fertilizer spreader, hit me up, and I would love a copy of that. Or possible next series is. Probably wouldn't use it here simply because this seems to work pretty good, and the usage is so low on this that might as well continue. I'm going to go ahead and tackle this up in here, up into the forest. We still need to pick up some forestry stuff. We're going to get into forestry this winter. So we'll just see if we can't follow the road on in here into the opening. And I think we're making our own road. Oh, no, we guessed right. Nice swing around in here and make our way out. What maps are you guys playing? What do y'all think of the Modding Mania contest and the Modding Mania maps? I just got done looking at those maps just last weekend, and it is week after St. Valentine's Day here in real life. What's the 19th? So I just finished the Modding Mania map videos, and I thought they were all pretty cool. I think I mentioned it in the last video that I did. But I'm curious, have you all looked at those maps? You all starting to play those? One map that really was pretty cool was Abandoned Forest. It's kind of the homesteader style map kind of concept. Valley View was really cool looking. You know, if I was looking to get into a British-ish style map, Valley View might be one I would be digging into. The O'Brien Farms, that looks like a fun possible multiplayer map. Let's see here. Are coming into town. So some of this road has already been cleared out. Let's clear the road in here to the church. They don't seem to have much of a parking spot, but we'll at least clear a little lane in for them. Then let's clean back. Can't get back here so they can get to the door a little better. A little bit here going into the Rathlin Hotel. Mostly we want to make sure that the hotel bar keeps getting their supply of booze from the mainland. And this is where we've already cleared our way into the BGA. Our way around here to the dock. Where does this one go? Not sure where this is going at the moment, but we're just going to go ahead and clear it. So guys, I've got some sad news. This will have already happened by the time this video airs, but it's just some news that we just got today, and that is that the Three Dudes website is being turned off. What do we want to say? Shut down. It's being turned off as just as a volunteer. Not gotten a takedown notice or anything ridiculous like that. But, Three Dudes, as in name, have ceased operations. That was a decision by Eustace to do that. Mostly is that he felt that maybe the time for the forum had maybe come and gone, that there were other ways and other methods to reach our viewers and to reach others in a fashion similar to how the forums were intended or were structured prior to some of these other technologies. So I think effective April 1st is when the site might have been going offline, or that was the date that was given to us. So you may have noticed that the intro video, the intro to this video, did not include the Three Dudes splash page. You may notice the keen of eye may notice that the thumbnail, or the watermark in the upper left corner, is slightly different than it was before. That is that it is now missing the Three Dudes little placard that was hanging at the bottom. But rest assured, I am going to stay around. This channel is not going anywhere. Eustace's channel is not going anywhere. Grizzly Bear Sims' channel isn't going anywhere. Zorly's channel is not going anywhere. Nobody's channels are going anywhere. Nobody is quitting YouTube or just quitting videos in general. It's just a personal decision that I completely understand and completely endorse from the standpoint of understanding how it all feels and how it all works out, and that there are other ways, like I said, to do other ways to the same ends. Basically, I guess how we should be putting it. So you may notice that in closing remarks now, we won't be mentioning Three Dudes. We won't be mentioning the Three Dudes open multiplayer server, but I think there will probably be something that will be coming along at some point that will replace that. I've got a multiplayer server, so at some point I could open my multiplayer server up to folks that are in my Discord, or folks that we know, and me as in the Farmer Klein viewership are aware of, and everything. So right now we're going to be doing, and we probably may have already started, and it's based on this video is done a few weeks ahead of when it's going to actually air, so we may or may not have actually started to do our Clover Creek series. But if we have started the Clover Creek series, then my multiplayer server is currently occupied with hosting the Clover Creek stuff, which is kind of a closed situation. But when Clover Creek ends, there's nothing saying that we wouldn't have a more open multiplayer server for folks, for viewers. And I guess, long story short, a map like O'Brien Farms would be a really cool map for multiplayer, because it was really kind of set up and designed around multiplayer with the co-op yard and the large industrial animal areas. Clear this area. This is where we're going to be coming to get our liquid manure, or not liquid, or liquid fertilizer, once we can fertilize our fields. So we'll go ahead and clear that off. And what we're going to be doing later today, off camera, is I've got another shipment of hay coming. They are on their way right now, and should be here a little bit before noon. Hopefully we can turn them around and maybe get a second shipment of hay by this evening. What I would like to see is a load of hay for sheep farm and a load of hay for the BGA today. And then we're going to probably be seeing if we can't maybe get another 40 or 50 sheep. Right now we are up to 20 sheep. So if we can get another 40 or 50, us up to the water fill point. We'll make another pass around the circle road during the second side of the lane. I guess we should be technically going the other direction on the road, but since we kind of are the main vehicle traffic on the island, not a lot of folks own vehicles, so not a lot of folks are going to be out here in the middle of snow. We kind of have our own access. Be good citizens and clear off the path up here to this microwave tower while we're at it. So right now we got 20 sheep. We're probably going to get another 40 or 50 sheep today. And check with the animal dealer back on the mainland and see where he thinks he's going to be for getting us our target goal of 600 sheep by the end of winter. If we can get that, we'll be going into spring with quite the herd of sheep, and we should be really in the market for wool production coming this spring and summer. Just look across this winter wonderland of Rathlin Island. It's a sheep farm. What a beautiful sight. Another thing that would make it even cooler would be if those distant mountains were able to beat snow, like CCS 101 did with Midtown, and I think with Churn is he able to swap out the distant background images for winter versus spring. So in winter they were snow-topped, and in spring and summer they were not. So guys, I hope you liked the video. If you did, please click the like button. Maybe, I don't remember if I mentioned this. This particular snow spreader is in the mod hub. It's in the in-game mod hub. It's under a gritter. I think that's what they call it. They call it a gritter. I don't remember if I mentioned that or not. But at any rate, hope you liked the video. If you did, please consider clicking that like button. That would be super awesome. I know that you all like the videos. If you're not a subscriber and you want to see more of this content, please consider subscribing. Just hit that subscribe button and click the little bell next to it, and you'll get notifications of future content. Right now we are doing Let's Play videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on Rathlin Island. We'll soon be putting out videos, if not already, on Clover Creek, our kind of multiplayer economy gameplay. I'll talk a little bit more about that next episode. Again, I am expecting to start that sometime around the start of May, and I know this video is going to air like the second week of, we're going to start Clover Creek sometime around the start of April, and I know this particular video should be airing around the second week of April. So if we haven't started it, we should be starting it very, very shortly, just based on how we're doing on UMRV. And that will probably that could be a recorded series, could be a live stream series. I'm not really sure how we're going to work that out with respect to our channel. Go check out PCSG, a really awesome web community that will forums, they host mods, They are an authorized hoster of many popular mods. They host several Farmer Andy mods. They host many of Stevie's mods and maps. So I encourage you to go check PCSG out. It's a great community for adult gamers. If you have a question, post a question, you can ask it. You're not going to get people telling you to go find Google and look it up yourself. You're going to find people who are more than willing to answer your questions in a courteous and efficient manner. Because we've all been there, we've all had the same questions. And it doesn't help when someone says, go look for it. Because in my line of work, I look every day for answers to my questions. Say I am a professional searcher. But sometimes you just don't know the right search terms to find the actual results you need. Sometimes you don't know enough about the actual problem to understand how you're supposed to word it. Or the wording you're using is not the right terminology. So sometimes you've got to post and people can read it, and other people can be like, I ran into that problem before and this is what I did to solve it, and quite possibly it might be the answer for you. So go check out PCSG. They do have an open multiplayer server that's open to any member. So if you want to get into multiplayer, or you want to have a better multiplayer experience than maybe what you get just logging into one of the open public farm sim multiplayer servers, go check them out. There is a post there there's a multiplayer lounge post. There's a thread there that will get you all the information you need on how to download the mods and how to log in to the multiplayer server, the open multiplayer server. So until next time, guys, happy farming.